Hey guys, Mark Rosetto here, and welcome to Walk the Talk webinar series. I'm really excited to have Andrew Funderburg from Fundy Designer software come and join us today. This is probably I've used Fundy for probably about 6 years now, and I've always used it as an album design for the wedding albums. And the development that Andrew's put into the software is absolutely freaky. That not only can you design a wedding album in like 5 seconds pressing a button with an autofill, which just absolutely blew my mind, but now there's so much more with the wall art, the wall designs, the brochures, the booklets, the flyers. It's a complete design software for photographers that don't really like to design, especially if you don't have to use InDesign and Illustrator and all that kind of stuff. The software is so intuitive, it's a little bit freaky, and the way that the software has been designed is so easily used. So I'm really excited to have Andrew here today. I caught up with Andrew at WPPI 2019, when I was there, and it was so cool to be able to meet in person and to see the software in action. So I'm really excited to have you here today, Andrew, and I'm going to spotlight your video, and the floor is all yours. Take it away.
I'm trying to figure out why I'm so pink recently in my videos. I'm trying to adjust the color on the lights and nothing's working, but that's okay. I'm not usually pink, but
not usually pink. You need to come to Queensland and get a tan.
Yeah, well, I have a tan. I've been out running and everything. I don't know why I'm pink. Yeah, thanks for having me. So today we're going to just give you kind of a brief overview of what you can do in Fundy Designer. Mark set this up to be like 30 minutes of presentation, so it is impossible to show you how to use the software in 30 minutes from top to bottom because it does so many things. But hopefully we'll give you some ideas, make you some profits. I was actually just looking in, somebody came across the post in a Facebook group, and somebody just sold their first giant wall collection with like 8 pieces with Fundy Designer. So that was good. So first of all, I want to show you that a few things that we have is under the help menu. We have tutorials, manuals, keyboard shortcuts, and the ability to contact support. So if you're looking on how to do stuff, that's where it all is. Also, if you want to cheat and be lazy, which most creatives do, if you just Google Fundy how to and then put whatever your question is, usually a pretty good answer will show up, if not the exact answer you're looking for. So Google likes us, so just be sure to use that.
And you've also got your amazing, your group on Facebook as well.
Exactly, yeah. So we have our group on Facebook if you go into the Fundy Storyteller group. And one thing that we've just started pushing out, we have our success guides pushed out. So we have a guide that we actually made with our magazine designer. There's one for IPS, one for setting up your studio, one for workflow, like how to work with Lightroom and everything all together. And then our design guide is coming very soon. It's the longest one, so it's taken us a little bit longer, but it should be out in a week or two. But you can download all those design guides for free. When you pop open the program, you can click what's new, or if you just go to our blog, it's on the sidebar. You can download those.
Very cool.
I think it's fundy.com/guides, so pretty easy to remember.
Very cool.
Yeah, so first I'll just kind of show you everything that you can do. So we have the wall art section, right? You can load in all of your wall art designs. You can bring in your clients' rooms, like they can take a picture of their living room and you can bring it in. You can download a bunch of wall templates. So one of the things is we've put in Mark's templates here. So here's all of the templates. So you can just choose one and then start dropping in all of your photos.
So guys, with those kind of templates, that hasn't really been announced yet. So you're the first to hear, which is really cool. So these templates are the same templates from Brilliant Prints. So what it is, they're not only do we have the easy to use kind of templates that Andrew's showing you now how to move stuff around, that when clients place the order for the templates and you export the templates, you can then take those templates directly into into
Brilliant prints.
prints, and you can order from them directly of what there is because the sizings are identical. It's amazing.
One thing that I have done when I was a working photographer is when you're ordering like 5 wall pieces, everybody can raise their hand because I'm sure everybody has done this, is you accidentally order the wrong big size and then the wrong small, like the photo that's supposed to be a 30 by 20, you accidentally order as the 11 by 14 and vice versa. And then, so you have to pay for reprinting 2 big canvases. So we've all done that, right?
Yeah.
So
the best part about the brilliant prints is that if you stuff up, Andrew, they don't charge you for it. How cool is that?
Oh, nice. Good.
They're really nice.
Well, the great thing about this is that Brilliant Prints will like us because then they don't have to pay for reprinting. Is when you export for print, we rename the files to the size that it's supposed to be printed at.
Very cool. Very cool.
So then you're like, oh, this is the 30 by 20. This is the 12 by 12. So you don't make those mistakes. So that's nice.
Cool. Do you want to show us again how you got those layouts? So let's just say that clients want to choose 4 or 5 images on a wall.
Yeah, so let's do this. So first of all, if you go to the design library and you go download wall collections, that's where you will find your Mark's collections right here. Right, so you download those and then now they're in your program. And so when we open up a blank wall, or you can have photos onto it, and then we click the layouts button, under these collections, we just choose your collections and then we can just kind of cruise down and choose whichever ones we want to use, right? So we can use the collections that have 4 different pieces, or I can grab this guy that's, 1 piece and then drop those, and then start dropping the photos in.
And then at the moment it's a 40 by 40. And if I want it to be a 30 by 30, you would just do.
So you can just grab it and just size down, size up, or you can click the pencil and just type in.
How cool is that?
Right. And if you want to add to it, if the client's like, oh, but I kind of want to add a picture of the cake over here next to it, and then, I don't know, maybe this one. Right. So you can just kind of free design also with it.
Very cool. Let's just say you've got the layouts. They've chosen those 4 pictures specifically, and they go, oh, well, what other layouts would suit those four images?
Yep.
How cool is this, guys? This is my favorite. Look at this. It just takes those 4 pictures and puts them into different layouts. I love it. How easy is that? Come on, Tash. I thought you'd be more excited than that.
She needs to loosen up. She hasn't had her coffee yet.
Yeah. She's just starting.
In all fairness, she hasn't had enough coffee yet.
Yeah.
Established that.
I love that part of it.
Yeah. So super easy. You can, with the different views, you can pre-design, a bunch of rooms ahead of time before they come. And design all those out so that you can go back and forth between these views, etc.
Very cool.
So let's go ahead and do this. Let's open up a family. So I have a bunch of different projects here. So this, for example, this family has 3 wall collections set up. And then in addition to the wall art, we can go ahead and create a new album.
Yeah, do this.
Choose our album manufacturer, etc.
This is my favorite. Auto design.
Yeah, the super. Right.
See that?
Design that album. So that's a second. Obviously, this page isn't working, so I'm going to grab one of these guys and bring it over there.
So all you did was selected all the favorites. You said how big you want the album, and you press auto design, and Shazam, it's done. And now you can just move stuff around.
Yeah, you can move stuff around. You can go through and, maybe you're going through the client and it's like, oh, I don't like that photo. So like, okay, let's just take that out.
Yeah. And when you select on a layout, let's just say you've selected on page 3 and 4, but you don't like that layout. I want to see other ones.
So same thing as before, you just click your layout buttons, right? And you can just kind of go through and see different layouts. And then we also have,
So cool.
more graphic based albums too, if that's like your cup of tea. And you can download a bunch of those. So quite a bit of choice there.
I used to love this when I was shooting weddings, because the people would love certain images but don't know how they want it to look.
Yep.
So you just pressed on this one and went, which one would you like? So it's easy.
And then, so kind of gone over just a little bit the album design and the wall art design. And then we have card design. So you can design, holiday cards, save the date cards, Christmas cards, etc.
Okay, so let's say that we're going to be really, really proactive with our marketing this year, and we're going to create our own family Christmas card, and we're going to send that to everybody.
Yep.
And we're going to send it so it's kind of looking something like this.
Yep.
I can do that in your program.
Yep.
And that can work all beautifully.
Yeah, so here we'll just drop the text in. It will load all of your fonts that you regularly use. You can save out your favorites,
Money.
And on the back, you can drop in your logo, contact information, etc.
And then you export that as an individual JPEG?
So usually cards you export either 2 JPEGs inside outside or 4 JPEGs front back inside outside.
Yep. Yeah. And then we can take that straight into whatever card program we want to use. So really the design element is creating a JPEG, and you send it to whatever the lab or place you want to get them printed on.
No matter what you create, you can always export it to print with any lab, any size.
Awesome. So what happens if you got something more technical, like what I talk about all the time is producing booklets and brochures and layouts and proper forms, and people always
so that's technically a book or a magazine style. So let me get to that in just a second. So let's say this is a family that you want to have an IPS session with.
Yeah.
So before they come, so we've designed everything, we can go ahead and create a slideshow. Have a bunch of music already set up here. And we can, let me do this actually. I'm just gonna favorite a couple photos here. Oh, before we do the slideshow, I'm also going to go ahead and cheat and give a little skin love to this couple here. Oops, I don't want that one.
We talk a lot about a soft edit and editing before shoots and editing before design appointments. This has got to be one of the coolest features ever designed.
So I did one photo, and then I'm just going to sync that soft edit across, and so I'm done. So all the skin softening and eye brightening and everything is done.
How cool is that? That is so super quick. So that means you don't have to do it in Lightroom. You don't have to take them into Photoshop. You can just give them all a quick spruce. So if you were doing the same day IPS, this would be pretty epic now, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, super.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go, it's taking a little bit. It's retouching all of those photos under the hood. So give it just a moment here.
Cool. So what we've done, we've selected the images, we've created your album, the wall art, you've created an album, and you've created a card.
Yeah.
And now are you putting all of that into a slideshow?
Correct. So I think, no, maybe not. I mean, I think we're the first ones to really put the slideshow together like this, where everything's together. So I'm going to choose just to do the favorites in the slideshow, and then I'm going to focus on the album and the wall art and the holiday card. And then I doubt you can hear the music.
Yeah, no, we can hear it.
Hear it a little bit?
Oh. Yeah, but it's kind of jumpy just because it's obviously by the web.
Right. And then we can go into the album, do the cover.
Cool. So you can see what the album would look like.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So what we wanted to focus on is really including in the slideshow what is going to make the most money.
Yeah.
Not the individual images, but the album design and the wall art.
Yeah, cool. So what you really want to, what you're trying to say, you're trying to show what people buy.
Yeah.
Trying to shoot to sell with the end product in mind.
Exactly. Here is something. Do you want to buy it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. So, and then go directly into the wall art, and then it'll give a slideshow with the wall art previews.
That's rad.
Right.
I haven't seen that function. This is really cool.
Yeah, it's super fast. Like it takes you 3 seconds to set up a slideshow.
And a holiday card. Yeah. Or a birth announcement card for those newborn photographers. Thank you, Josh. I was reading, and send me money.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, and then as people go through and they want to order things, you can include all of your, you can set up all of your pricing in Fundy Designer, and then add those items they want to purchase into an order. And then, this would be your logo, obviously, but then creating that.
Cool. And then would you be able to export the images high res in the size and the crop that you see?
Yes. So from here, this order, we can export the PDF to sign off on. We can export that order to your studio management system.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And then from here, you kind of choose what you want to export. So for example, like the album, we would export as an album.
Yep.
Right. We would export the wall design for the individual pieces to be printed, the prints, the cards, etc.
Yeah.
You might choose to go back into Lightroom to do some final edits.
Yeah.
You might want to export all of the images for retouching in Photoshop or something.
Yeah.
And sync them back up to the program. So a lot of different workflows depending on how you deal with your input and output of photos. And
yeah, cool. So what we've pretty much done is imported the images individually, created an album, created the wall art, created a holiday card, put it in a slideshow, shown the clients. Then we've gone through, picked out your favorites, picked the images, picked your slideshow, picked the album, put it into order form, and you've ordered it.
Yeah.
That's pretty rad, isn't it? And I love this soft retouching. So no more editing beforehand and straight out of camera. If you get it right in camera in the first place, it's ready to show.
Yeah.
And can you then export the slideshow as an MP4?
Yes.
Perfect. So then you've got your Facebook content creation at the same time.
Yeah.
Ready to go. That is pretty rad right there.
So in the business, the first thing we really concentrated on was our design functionality, be able to design everything. And then we've really worked on the IPS functionality with the slideshow and the order builder and working with all of the studio management systems and all of that. And then this year when we launched, we really wanted to focus on marketing items.
Cool.
So things that help people in their marketing. So we launched our studio magazines with matching cards. So things like pricing cards. So being able to do your pricing, gift certificates. You usually refer them to something else in Australia. I forget.
Yeah, gift vouchers, gift certificates, gift cards. Yeah. They're all same.
Exactly, right? And so, everything is editable. So you can call it whatever you would like.
Do you have a few designs there? So if we don't want the flowers and the leaf type thing.
Yeah. So let me see. Let me see if I have some of the original ones. I don't have any, actually, let me just do this. Let me duplicate, this pricing card and open that one. I just want to save that. And so we'll go into the layouts here, and I'll show you some of our original ones that are a little bit more cleaner. So I'm going to go to the marketing cards here. So here's
okay, cool. This is exactly what I was talking about.
So we have a set for family, a set for boudoir, a set for weddings.
Perfect.
Exact, etc. And you can mix and match. Like you can use the family ones for something else. But let's do here's the family pricing.
Yeah.
Right. And then, all of the colors and everything are changeable.
And you can move them around and make it fully templated with everything, can't you?
Yeah. So everything, all of the layouts are basically placing things on there. And then from that, you can move anything around or change anything.
So I guess instead of going to something like Creative Market or buying a marketing bundle design from somewhere else,
yep,
it's better to use this program because it's all in the one space.
So
it's all
with
here.
Our design library, I just kind of did a rough calculation that if you purchased everything in the design library, because it also has like stock rooms and more songs and stuff, it's about $8,000 worth of stuff.
Okay. Cool.
7,000 of that is the Mark Rosetto,
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. Cool. So you've got all your the magazines, your gift cards, everything that you can choose from.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and just kind of show you how easy it is to do like a studio magazine. All right. Let's see. So one thing we haven't had in here, but a little trick is if you choose Graphy Studio, all of the A4 sizes, etc., are in there.
Okay, cool.
Little workaround. So for example, let's go ahead and choose Studio Magazines with the family. And it auto lays everything out. And then also everything is pre-written by a professional writer. So
how cool is that?
I know. And then you just start dropping start dropping your photos in.
That is pretty cool. And then obviously every page is editable and you can move stuff around as you feel like and add pages and take pages out.
And it's all based on our patented technology. So for example, this space has a spot for one photo, but you can drop 4 photos in there if you want. We don't care.
Yeah. That's so cool. So all those people that goes, I don't have a brochure yet. I don't know how to make a booklet. This is pretty much on a silver platter for you.
And literally. Then a pro tip, when you design wall art, you can export the room preview, export the wall preview, and then re-import it. So then when you're designing that magazine,
you can put it in.
Have wall previews to show off.
And that will help with the room views for your websites as well and everything else.
Yeah. Or you can put it on your website or Facebook. Every time somebody orders something, you can export the room view.
Oh, look at Tash. She's like, I'm all over this.
Yeah, right. So you can export the room view and be like, hey, the Johnson family just ordered this wonderful room collage. You should get one too.
Yeah.
Call me today.
Yeah. I guess this is a really modern way. Like this has just come so far. It's so rad that everything's in there. Everything's there.
Yeah, it's all there.
It's almost like you've thought about this a few times, haven't you?
We've been thinking. And then, for example, also with each magazine, there's matching cards that also has a card just dedicated to wall art.
Yeah.
right? So when clients visit or after the shoot, you can give them the card just to remind them like, hey, this is the focus.
Yeah, that's rad. That's really cool. It's very cool. All right, so we've gone through what you show the clients and how to sell to your clients and do the order form to the design elements. Does this make pancakes or anything else? Waffles?
So the number one request is a beer delivery service.
Okay, cool.
We're working on that. We haven't quite got there yet.
Cool. Is there any other must-know things that we need to know about? Because what we're going to do, we'll go into Q&A in a sec. So
yeah, so the main thing for the those guides I showed you, the fundy.com/guides, the studio setup guide is the one that really walks you through that process of like creating your collections and adding your pricing, adding your album pricing. So, I mean, for example, this, I freaking love this. So I've wanted this forever.
Yeah.
For myself is when, let me open this, get this project open here. So when we're showing this album and making changes and they decide to get this album, we can have, I'm not sure which album is here, right? So we can have all of our album pricing and it dynamically creates the album. So we can have like base price plus extra pages and it just does all of the math for us.
Yeah, cool. That's really rad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff in there, isn't it?
There's some pretty good stuff.
Very cool. Very cool. Cool. Awesome. All right, guys, if you have any questions about this, I'm going to go through the questions in a second now. What we'll do, Andrew, I'm going to take you off screen, stop share, screen share, whatever it is.
Yep.
I'm going to steal the limelight here for just a second. Thank you so much for coming on. That is so rad. We're going to get into Q&A now. So stick around, and there's a special offer for Fundy that I've got, especially the Mark Rosetto special. So if you're interested in doing that, come and let me know.